Hello and welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk about 5 things I don't like about Sweden. Now, a disclaimer, I do not hate Sweden. This is not a video to like scare you away from coming here if you do want to come here. This is just, there are some things about countries that you don't like and some things that you do like, and these are just the 5 things I don't like about Sweden. So let's begin. The first thing I don't like about Sweden is the winters. This is probably something that most of you know, but in Sweden we have a really cold winters. So it gets like minus 25 degrees Celsius outside and sometimes even minus 30. And for me that's horrible. I really hate the cold, and now I've grown to hate the snow since it's cold and it's slippery outside, and yeah, I just hate the winters. I also don't like that it gets dark very early. It gets dark around like 3 p.m. In the middle of the winter. So like at the weekends, if you sleep a long time, then you can go to bed when it's dark and you will wake up when it's dark, which sucks. Also is a reason why a lot of Swedes have vitamin D deficiency. So yeah. The second thing I don't like about Sweden is the culture. Yes, we have a very boring culture. For those of you who don't know, the food culture is boring to me, at least. The food culture is boring. It's nothing exciting or like new. What is it? It's meatballs and spaghetti. Okay, not spaghetti, but it's like meatballs and sausage, pancakes. I don't know. It's just boring. And the music, it's okay. Our buildings are also boring. Our houses, I don't know what you guys think, but for me it is very boring, and I don't think it's just because I grew up here. It's just, I feel like it's a country that you won't look twice at. The third thing I don't like about Sweden is the healthcare. Okay, so even though the healthcare is free, which is awesome, up until a certain age, it's not that good, You can go there and explain all the symptoms that you have, and a lot of doctors won't find what's wrong with you. And for me, I feel like I can just Google that in 3 minutes and then have the answer. So I feel like it's a problem when Google often is better than the actual doctors. I feel like they should know better than Google, or at least be able to give you answers on what to do or on what kind of problem you have. Like every time I've gone to ask them what's wrong with me, if I had some kind of problem, most of them will like tell you I don't know, or do some sort of test which doesn't help most of the time. And often at times I've also heard from a lot of my friends that some of them misdiagnose you and then give you the wrong kind of medication, which can actually be pretty harmful if you don't have the diagnosis that the medicine was given for. Of course there are good doctors as well, and those who do know how to do their job and stuff, but I feel like there's a lot of doctors that don't here in Sweden. I don't know how it's like in America or another country, but just in Sweden it's lacking a lot. So the fourth thing I don't like about Sweden is the alcohol. Not the alcohol itself, but the alcohol is very expensive here in Sweden, especially at restaurants and bars. They're super expensive there. One drink is often like 11 or 12, okay, maybe like 13 bucks for one drink. I feel like that's a whole of a lot. And we also have special stores where you can buy alcohol. You can buy some alcohol that isn't really strong in the food stores or other stores, but not the strong stuff. There you have to go to a special store for that, which is called Systembolaget. That probably exists for us to not get our hands on alcohol so easily, but there are a lot of other countries that has alcohol that sells in food stores and normal stores, and I feel like their alcoholism isn't higher than ours, so I don't feel like it helps. I just feel like it's a bit of a more struggle when you want alcohol. it's hot. Why did I pick a hoodie? So the fifth and last thing I don't like about Sweden is that almost everything closes pretty early, even in the big cities. There's not a lot of stores that has, or any, I think like 7-Eleven or something, that has open 24/7. So if you wanna like have something to eat or something to drink, I don't know, in the middle of the night, there are often times that you can't do that. So if you want something later in the evening, then you will have to buy it like earlier in the day. I think the most stores closes at like 11 p.m. at latest. Where I live, in a small town, the latest a store is open is to 12 p.m. and also in that store the things are super expensive, like it's double the price that you usually have to pay for that specific product. So I don't feel like I don't often want to go and buy things there, because you know it will cost a lot. But the grocery stores are open to 9 p.m. which I feel is a bit too early. So yeah, you really have to watch the time if you want to go and buy something. I don't know how many countries have stores that are open until late or at night, or you know, 24/7, but it would be awesome if we had a little bit more of that in Sweden. So yeah, that's the 5 things I don't like about Sweden. There are probably more stuff I don't like about Sweden, but I thought I would just stick to 5 things. Of course there are things I like about Sweden as well, and I'm probably gonna put up a video of 5 things I like about Sweden as well. Don't know exactly when, but sometime in the near future, hopefully. So if you want to, tell me where you are from and tell me 5 things you don't like about your country. It's interesting for me to hear, since I'm interested in different cultures and languages, and I probably want to move out in the near future to a different country. I definitely do not want to live in Sweden my whole life, so yeah. And hopefully you liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions or if you want to tell me something about your country, leave them in the comments below, and subscribe if you want to, and hopefully I will see you in another video. Holy shit. This is what happens when you stand on your knee. Sorry for the extremely white legs, by the way. Bye.